legends, my next mate, Cooper Hamilton, is a darling of the internet and the footy world. As GWS player, Coops was grounded with injuries early in his career, but that didn't stop him. He became a star of the AFL, loved by everyone, to the point where when I did a video for GWS that they asked me to do, I didn't even ask to do it. They just said, please come and do this. The main comments were, where's Coops? Why have you removed Cooper from this video? And I was like, wow, this guy's loved. I asked a certain social media manager from the GWS Giants some intel on this person. They said, he's obsessed with baked oats. He wants to be the next Hamish and Andy. I don't understand that because you're one person. That's a whole different dynamic. You got a mean black eye at the moment. Is that still the case?
Yeah, what do you reckon?
I can't see it, man.
Oh,
it's on the right, yeah.
No, it was the makeup I put on
very nice.
Coming in, yeah. Had to clear it up.
And got more famous after being delisted. Our mate this week is Cooper Hamilton. Hi, mate.
That's an incredible introduction. Thank you very much, I think.
Yeah, I went sort of jazz with it. I went free form after a little bit. But thank you for doing this, mate. Welcome to Melbourne, I should say, because you've moved here and now have a new gig in the footy world. Is that fair to say?
I don't even know if you can call it a gig. I'm just sort of making it up as I go. So
you're at the VFL Carlton team, yes?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, Carlton Reserves.
Now, we have something in common is I've worked out in that gym once. I worked out with Michael Voss at the start of the year. Couldn't release the tape for a long time, though, because it was supposed to come out after a win.
Did it come out?
Yeah, it came out eventually.
But I'm going to look at that one.
Is that a good, in the level of like football world gyms, is that a great gym?
That is a great gym, yeah. There's a still special place in my heart for, obviously, the Giants gym.
Tell me about the GWS gym.
Well, the funny thing about it is it's literally in a shed.
You're right, it's shed.
So the entire, Giants gym / indoor training field is a shed. Big fans. There's 2 big fans on the roof, and they're literally labelled Big Ass Fan.
I think GWS has more than 2 fans. Is that what you mean?
You're trying to twist my words.
No, but I'm curious about that, right? Because when GWS started in the early 2010s, when you were 3, the vibe was that they've set up this new state-of-the-art facility. There's houses for everyone. There's everyone wants to go up. Tom Scully's up there, and who else is up there? Callan Ward, who is still there. Huh?
I was going to say, I was trying to help you out. Phil Davis,
but in the early Reece Palmer.
Yeah, Reece Palmer.
It was like, this is where it's at. They've got their own stadium. This is the shit. What is it actually like to be a GWS player?
Well, let me go back. So I've talked to a lot of the I don't want to say older boys.
The pioneers.
The pioneers, yeah, exactly. Your Phil Davis, your Stephen Keneally, Callum Ward, et cetera, et cetera.
Yep.
And they don't put any mayo on it. They were literally training on baseball diamonds in the beginning.
As in a baseball field?
A baseball field, yeah. So they were out at Rudy Hill at the time.
Rudy Hill,
out near Blacktown, past Parramatta, so an hour and a bit from Sydney CBD. And they were using the Rudy Hill RSL as their sort of meeting rooms and stuff, and they gym in there as well.
In the RSL?
In the RSL. I'm pretty sure that's correct, yeah.
With the pokies?
Yeah, literally. And they were literally based out of there at the start before everything got built in Sydney Olympic Park.
Is this when the Australia's wicketkeeper was playing for them?
When Alex Carey, yeah. I'm pretty sure that's when he was running around out there. So
he was training in the Returned Servicemen's League?
Correct, yeah. Isn't that a welcome to the league moment?
I genuinely thought they had, because I thought they stuffed up with Gold Coast and made it really hard, and because they were in relocated.
Yeah, portables and stuff like that. Yeah.
But no, it was the same for the Giants. What about when you got there?
Oh, when I got there, it was all set. By the time I got there, I think it was almost 10 years, or the year after their 10 years. So they're out at Tom Wills now in Sydney Olympic Park, and it's a great facility. They're actually upgrading. They're getting a pool built and sauna, so kind of flat that I'm not there anymore. But
Carlton have 2 pools.
I heard they're getting 3 pools, actually.
I think you might be right. I think there's 3 pools.
Yeah, I reckon.
Do you go in both pools? Is there a reason to go in multiple pools?
Probably because one would be warm, one would be cold.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Well, maybe they're the same temperature. I don't know. They might just have... It's a flex of money just to have a couple of pools.
Flex them, yeah, it is.
But you're right about the Gold Coast Giants thing. So they mucked up with the Gold Coast, and then you could argue they mucked up with the Giants. It just makes me wonder what they're going to do with Tassie.
Yeah.
Because they can't even get a stadium at the moment.
Yeah. I think the facilities are like they're right out of Hobart.
Yeah.
But that is 8 minutes.
Yeah.
But like you, as a fan of a team that don't have a home facility in Melbourne, how important is it? Do you think, like, to being really good?
Wait, rephrase that question for me so I can just let
If your gym is better,
Yep.
do you win more games?
Okay, I wouldn't say that. No, I wouldn't say that just having a better gym and facilities makes you win more games. I'd say the people you recruit to the club, whether that's staff or that's players, that makes you a better team.
Right.
And Giants have done that absolutely brilliantly.
Yeah, no, how was it in your last year there? Because they are a personality of a team unlike anyone else, where they play at 900 different ovals a year. They have a relatively, to the rest of the league, small fan base. But what's the vibe like? Is it just this? Is it confidence? Is it just like this? What's the vibe?
Well, it's sort of like a play into that sort of, I guess, play into that vibe. Like, we had a running joke that we were winning at the most grounds ever, and we just kept on winning. And I remember we had a theme at one point, and it was run by Kingers at the time, a Tour de France theme, because we were just hopping between stadiums. So each time we won, it was like winning another stage on the Tour de France.
Right.
And each week we give out like the polka dot or the yellow jersey or the green jersey and stuff like that, like different Tour de France jerseys.
Cool.
So it's definitely, I reckon, the playing group from my time there embraced every little bit of travel and stuff like that. And it was almost like we're given the hardest hand and we're going to make the most of it.
That's sick. You can really feel that across the board. So where did you grow up? Where are you originally from?
I'm from Country Victoria, so up near Echuca.
Beautiful part of the world.
Beautiful.
When you say near, don't make concessions.
Okay.
Tell me where you're from.
Local town, Colbernabin.
I shouldn't have asked.
Yeah.
Colbernabin.
Colbernabin. Bin on the
Colbernabin.
Yeah, well done. Colbo.
It took me 9 times. Up near the Murray.
Yeah, close to it, yeah.
Well, I know that because of Echuca.
Yeah.
That part of the world is particularly isolated, right? In that you are not, like, to get to Melbourne is how long a drive?
Yeah, 2.5, yeah.
Yeah. But there's some good footy players from there. Isn't Clayton Oliver and Ollie Wines from that part of the world as well, I think? Or?
Yeah, correct. And Harley Reid's up that way as well.
Jesus.
So,
I should have said him first.
Yeah.
So what's it like playing footy up there? Is it everything?
Yeah, absolutely. You live for the weekend and you go to your community club, and like that's the whole thing about country football is the community comes together on a Saturday, and like you grow up in that community type thing. Like I'm back there playing country football now.
Really?
And I love it.
Is this the Tigers team?
I'm playing for that confuses a lot of people.
I'm confused. Your branding's very unclear, Cooper.
Yeah,
We've got to sort
is.
it out. We've got to be clear on your branding.
Yeah.
Is that for Colbernabin?
No, so Colbernabin's the Grasshoppers, but I actually play for the neighbouring town who my brother captains, Rochester Tigers.
Rochester Tigers. Your brother captains them now?
Yes, correct, yeah.
And what's the colour of the Grasshoppers for Colbernabin?
Green and gold.
That's sick.
Yeah, it was sick.
Colbernabin Grasshoppers. Are they a good team?
Great team.
And Rochester's better now, the Rochester Tigers?
The Rochester Tigers are in a little bit better of a league, so
Okay.
a little bit better standard of football. So I go back and play there when I'm not selected for VFL, which hasn't been at all this year. Pending.
Is it true that playing in country teams is financially better than playing for a VFL team?
It depends on what.
team, yeah.
Yeah, it depends on the team. It depends on what your goal is, really. Like, ultimately, I wanted to play with my brothers, so it was just like
You wanted to do it for fun?
Yeah, more so for fun. Like, I'd be lying if I said I didn't get paid.
Yeah.
But I certainly, the VFL is not necessarily a league where you go to get paid either, just because you're paying your highest level of football you can.
It's for the love of it a bit.
Yeah, and trying to get on AFL list,
So, how's the Rochester Tigers going? Are they dominant? Yeah, I feel like you are a gun player.
That is far from the truth.
I just feel like you didn't get a good run with injuries. Is that fair to say?
I certainly had my dealings with injuries, but I'd class myself as a role player. So I'm not your Finn Callahan dominate a game. I'm just, tell me to do something, I'll do it.
You're not the Finn Callahan of the Rochester Tigers?
I wouldn't say that, no.
You sure?
I'm sure, yeah.
Because I've heard it, Alex Caruso in the NBA?
Yeah,
when
yeah.
they talk about how he used to play in high school games when he'd rock up.
Yeah.
And just like absolute Harlem Globetrotter, these things.
Take the mickey.
Is it not like that when you go out to like a low league in the country and play? It just doesn't feel...
Certainly some players would go out there and absolutely dominate, but I wouldn't say I'd dominate a game. I don't take control.
Where are you playing? What position have they put you?
Midfield at the moment. I'm very battered and bruised after the weekend. I'm so sore.
What is the soreness? What like corkies or...
Corkies, yeah, pretty much.
A lot of knee lifting?
Lots of it. Like, I could barely get out of bed this morning.
Really?
Well, I'm a really scrawny boy at the moment.
No, I disagree.
Well, when I first broke my foot, I was 90 kilos, and now I'm 78. I went through a period of, because I had a stress fracture in my foot, I obsessed over my weight, and I was like, I must be too heavy.
Yeah.
So I obsessed over food and stuff like that and got it down.
So you're a good eater?
Probably a horrible eater now, because I'm training my brain to just not have a good relationship with food.
Right.
So I'm still recovering from that. Actually, that stuffed me over a little bit.
So you don't like... Do you feel comfortable going to the gym, or do you like it feels like work now? Or...
Nah, gym's like a happy place type thing.
Cool.
That's sort of like a switch off, because every time I leave, I was at the gym just before I came here.
How'd you go? What'd you do?
All biceps and triceps, yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it was a really feel-good session.
Had a
actually.
Sunday pump.
Yeah, it wasn't too many people in there, so I could look at myself a little bit more than usual.
Did you go to Carlton, or did you just go to a normal gym?
Nah, I just went to a normal gym.
Can you say which one?
Club Lime, Ascot Vale.
The Club Lime is where all the trendies go now. It's like a fancy snap.
Well, I'm not too... there was one around the corner, and I've been going there. But where do you go?
I go... Well, here's the thing, right? I spend a lot of the year touring everywhere.
Yeah.
So I'm Anytime Fitness, and you scan in, you have the fob on your phone.
Yeah.
And I've been to Anytime Fitness Philadelphia, Anytime Fitness Perth, London, Austin, Texas, like everywhere, and it works, and they're all the same.
Wow.
So I go to the one in Coburg, but then when I go on tour, I was in Sydney, and I'll go to the one in Sydney, everywhere.
That's actually so cool.
Yeah, and sometimes you go into the trainer and you're like, I was in London and I walked into the guy and I was like, I'm from Melbourne. And they're like,
as you walk through the gates?
No, I don't give a fuck, man. I do not care. Okay, so in a town, do you think you became good at footy because it's what the town was about, or was that a lucky coincidence? Do you know what I mean?
Family obsessed with football. I grew up in a family of 4 boys.
Right.
So football was absolutely everything. Dad was the president of the local football club. So
yeah, Jesus.
We were just absorbed in football, and it's all we wanted to do, like growing up. So that's probably the main driver.
So when you got drafted, how was that experience? I've never really talked to a footy player about being drafted. What was that like?
Well, mine was different to everybody else. So
right.
Normally your draftees are first night get drafted. I missed the first night. I missed the second night, and I learnt I got drafted by watching the rookie draft refreshing on the website and getting a phone call from Adrian Caruso, who's actually head recruiter of the Giants.
Right.
And gave me a phone call and said, yeah, picked up by the Giants.
That's so cool. Did you have an inkling that they were interested, or?
Not really, to be honest. My manager had said something, but I thought, so the last player that was drafted on the second night was Cooper White to Geelong. And you could imagine what kind of roller coaster that was when they said Cooper. And I was like, I'm going to Geelong for like a split second, and then straight back down.
What?
Yeah, but the next day getting picked up, I don't remember much of that night, because you can imagine I celebrated.
Yeah,
quite
you
hard.
celebrate. Has some good on you. So what's it like when that becomes your job? I've heard, particularly on rookie listed, or it's not that well paying. Was that the case?
Oh no, I was pretty happy.
Yeah, you're right.
They look after you pretty well. Like
Dill Buckley said to me, it was like on $8 a week or something.
I think back in the day, like rookie list was
Yeah.
like you genuinely are there for pennies.
Yeah.
But nowadays, I think your rookie contract's about $90K.
So you were 18, living in Sydney on a good
on
money.
a good wicket, yeah,
That's
and living
great.
with Finn Callahan and Lecalia as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we loved it. It was awesome.
Are you happy to see them both dominating now? I mean, Leek is getting offers from other places, and you feel happy for them?
And still super close to them as well.
Yeah.
So it's awesome. Like everything that I see, like even watching, like we're looking at Finn right now on the TV, but like watching the way that they are still playing football now. Like I was on the edge of my seat, heart beating, like racing today watching the game, and just like, come on, please win.
That's awesome, man. So you start the career, and when does what happens? Tell me about your first few years. How does it go for you?
So first year was so bizarre. I had 2 coaches in my first year. So I started with Leon Cameron, and I debuted in round 6, I think it was, at Adelaide Oval. Played the next 3 games, and my third game was Leon Cameron's last game against Carlton, actually. And then after that, Mark McVeigh took over, and I didn't play for the rest of the year. And
Strange.
and then that was a really, really bizarre year.
Do you know why you didn't play again, or do you have any inkling why you didn't get another run?
Oh, I just assume he was just trying to put a team on the field that he thought would win games.
Right.
I'm not going to say he hated me because we got along really well.
Yep.
But I certainly wished I could have got a couple more games that year. But at the end of the day, I don't think it changed too much.
Shifting between maybe Cameron was more long-sided and McVeigh was more...
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, he was vying for his own job. He wanted the top job as well. So he was like, I got to try to win.
Sure.
And fair enough, not trusting an 18-year-old. But and then, so that year happened, was on top of the world, loved it, best thing ever, living in Sydney, awesome. The next year, Kingers took over, and I missed round 1, he didn't play me, and then round 2 to 5, I played all those games, and I was just nursing a really sore foot for the first couple games. I'd pull up really sore, get through the week, play the game, and then my final game was against Hawks, the first gather round, which was an incredible game. Harry Himmelberg took an absolute screamer up one end and then saved the game up the other end. And after that
Norwood Oval?
Norwood Oval. Incredible oval to play at.
The basketball court vibe.
Yeah, genuine basketball court. And the crowd there was incredible, first gather round. So, but yeah, after the game, couldn't walk really.
Really?
Yeah, so I struggled. Went to the club on the Monday. I got a scan on the Sunday once we got back from Adelaide. Went to the club on the Monday and then came out in a moon boot and crutches and season over. So you can imagine, 19, you played the first couple games. You're like, yeah, this is gross. I had bleached blonde hair at the time. So I was living my best life thinking, yeah, you're the best. And crutched out of the club and was told I'm not playing again that year. That hit me like a ton of bricks.
Yeah.
And pretty quickly, I hid it from a lot of people, but my mental health spiraled.
Really?
Yeah, massively. I became so insular, stopped sort of going out with people and stuff like that. Became hyper obsessed with fixing my foot. And that's where the eating sort of...
Right.
I dialed in all of my nutrition and gym stuff and hyper obsessed over it. And it just changed me as a person.
Right.
So when...
Like a kind of control. You can control.
Yeah. So for me, and I've spoken to my psych about this, is I'm a control freak. And previously it was... Before the injury, it was all about football. I'd do extras, do everything I could. As soon as football was taken away from me, it's what can I control now? How I look, how my body looks, because maybe that's how my foot got broken. So I went straight down that rabbit hole. That sucked. Still sort of recovering from that now. But anyway, that whole year passed and we were, at the end of the year, I'd finally got back and we lost that final to Collingwood, and I actually played in a scratch match that day and I was officially out of rehab. Did my whole off-season program and then came back day 1 of pre-season and was doing some hopping tests and my foot was a little bit sore. So they sent me off to get scans and they showed stress around the navicular again. It was okay, deload, no, don't do anything. So I didn't really have a pre-season in my third year and ended up doing a mini 2-week sort of pre-season, pre-games, and got up for round 1, VFL, and then the next 6 weeks was literally just play the game on the weekend, pull up super sore, don't train throughout the week, get through a captain's run, play the game.
Right.
And just couldn't play the game. Not the fact that I couldn't run around, but more so the fact that I'd put so much pressure on myself to play a good game because at the end of the day I was on a 1-year contract. I just kept on getting 1-year contracts. Mm-hmm. So the performance anxiety just smacked me in the face. And
You're 20 at this point?
Not even. It was 20. Yeah. So this was last year, and got to round 7 or 8, I think it was. And funny enough, it was actually we versed Geelong at GMHBA, which the boys just did today.
Mm-hmm.
And before the game, I couldn't even run around the warm-up. And I was like, this foot's probably done now. So I went to the physio. I was like, just can you do something to get me through this game? So we just doused my foot with numbing cream. Just rubbed it all over. And it worked that well that in that first quarter, I had my first kick, put the ball on my foot and just had no idea where the ball went. It just sprayed completely offside because I couldn't feel it hit my foot.
Jeez.
So I'm sitting there and I'm like, we're getting through this game. This will be grouse. Got through the game. Next morning, that was not fun.
Yeah.
I couldn't really put any weight through my foot. And then pretty much got back up to Sydney after that and spent the next 10 weeks deloading and trying to build back up to running. Each time would just hurt. Saw a surgeon after 10 weeks and he said, yeah, look, we'll do surgery. Got the surgery and I think it was about so I went home for about 5 weeks back to the farm.
Yep.
Just because I couldn't do anything up in Sydney. I was in plaster for over a month.
Yeah.
Mum looked after me the whole time, which was grouse.
Yeah.
And then I came up for a checkup because I was going to get another surgery up in Sydney to do a little scope on my ankle and shave off some bone spurs as well. And I got in contact with Jason McCartney, list manager at Giants, and just said, look, can I have a catch up? I just want to know where I'm at. Caught up with him and he just said to me, I just said, give it to me straight. And he said, yeah, look, we're not going to go with you next year. So I pretty much knew round 20 of my last season that I wasn't going to get a contract.
Mm.
And the funny thing was I went straight to Jacob Gaynor and just said, look, I know I'm not getting a contract next year. Let's absolutely rinse this media stuff for as much as we can and see what I can get out of it, see what we can get out of it and do.
Yeah.
And that kept me sane. The videos and stuff that we did kept me sane throughout that rehab process.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
And sort of gave me a bit of a love for being behind the camera and sort of telling a bit of a story.
What a full-on thing to experience before you're 21, man. Looking back,
It's definitely worse for people.
100%, man. But think back to me and what I was doing at 19. I was doing dramatic movement in a movement studio in Ballarat. Looking back, how would you handle it any differently, or would you?
I don't know. It's really hard to say. I actually haven't thought about that too much. The main thing I tried to do the entire time was focus on something. I put my energy into something else.
Yeah.
And the videos certainly helped a lot. For me, it was sort of a bit of a release and gives me something to do. And found out that I really enjoyed that as well. So that was incredible. And the team there, Alison Zell, Jacob Gaynor, Will Helm, all them there, they're incredible. And they sort of back me to the hilt with all that. But when I think about football, I don't know. Maybe if you ask me in 5-10 years' time, I might go, geez, I really wish I did something different. But I lost love for football while I was up there because I couldn't play it.
Yeah.
And I'm still trying to find the love for football again. Going back and playing country football is starting to bring it back, but I've still got a long way to go before.
Man, there's a saying about, there's a saying, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah, absolutely.
My experience, that's been do what you love and you'll build a strange relationship with your hobby.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you who you are as a person will be warped and changed.
Yeah.
And I've experienced when things don't go my way in my career in performing, I feel great embarrassment about things, and I think about what are people going to think of this. And did you have to go through a bit of that?
Massively, especially. So we talked about my community and it being everything about the community. Football. I felt like when I was playing games, it was the best thing ever. I knew that the community was backing me. They were watching every game I was playing, and then as soon as I wasn't playing, I felt like I was letting them down. Yeah, I felt like I was letting them, my family, down because everyone was invested so much in me to get there. So it's not just me just playing because I want to play football on TV and get paid to do it. It was more so the fact that there were so many people that put so much time into me getting to where I was. Yeah, and it just felt like I'm letting them down by not sort of performing at the best level. I think you performed at your best level in other places, as we talked about with Jacob and all of that and the social stuff. So when was the first video you did? So for those who don't know, you pretty much were tasked with doing
the rev up, well, not even a rev up video,
Nah,
just
not even a rev up.
the
Nah.
information video for who they were playing on the weekend.
Trying to recruit fans.
Yeah.
That's essentially. And I think a lot more kudos goes to me than probably what should, because the mastermind behind this entire operation has been Jacob.
Right.
He was the one that approached me. I was in rehab at the time, couldn't play. And he just said, look, I got an idea. What do you think?
So do you think he was throwing a lifeline to you in a way, or like was he just like you're a nice guy? Why did he think he chose you?
Well, he knew. So throughout the years, I'd built a great relationship with him, and I'd shown a keenness to doing social media stuff. Like I'd done a couple of day in the lives and stuff like that, and been like, hey, I want to do this. Can you help me out? And I think he realised that I wasn't shy in front of camera. And also I was in a position where I had been playing that year and got injured while I was in the AFL side. So to me, it was like if anyone talks shit about this, I can say, look, I was playing AFL. I just got injured. So I'd be in this side.
Yeah.
So there was a little bit of that. and then it was received so well. Like that first one got on, it was before we played Port Adelaide in the first final. And we called on all Adelaide supporters to tear the pair. And it went on 7 News in Adelaide, and they just grabbed it and ran with it. And I was like, holy shit, this is awesome.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, it grew legs from there. And geez, we almost went on a dream run and won it all. I couldn't imagine what would have happened from that. It's just bloody Collingwood had to go and do what they do.
Yeah.
And just ruin the party. So.
GW's been around it for a while. It's just that at some point, something falls apart at some point. But no, your work, you did the best you possibly could for that team.
I did absolutely everything I could.
So where to from now? So you're playing footy and still and trying to find the love for it again.
Yeah.
Do you play basketball? Play another sport, man. What others do you like? You could be the best chess player in the world. You don't know.
Ooh, chess.
Yeah.
That's actually quite a good. Yeah, I've played pretty much every sport under the sun.
Have you?
Yeah, all being small country town.
Do you love footy more than any other still? Or do you think? Or
Yeah, I'd say so.
what's the second sport you love watching? What do you love watching?
I love watching.
You're going to say F1. Every football player loves F1.
Nah, I'm not a bit, like I post about F1 a lot, but I don't really enjoy it that much. I can't even get through Drive to Survive.
Yeah, me neither. I could get through a few seasons, but now that Piastri's doing well, I'm kind of interested. But
Actually, yeah, I have watched him a couple of times now. I'd probably go down. I've always been a pretty big tennis fan.
oh right,
Yeah.
now that you said that, I see it. I see.
You
that.
do?
Yeah, I can see the tennis in you for sure. Who's your favorite tennis player?
If you look through my Instagram, it's pretty obviously Arena Sablenka.
Okay, right. Yeah.
I told her I loved her, and she looked at me.
Really?
She
At a game?
Nah, she was like on the practice
shopping
courts at
centre
the
or-
Australian Open.
Okay, right.
And I was standing, and she was walking past, and I yelled out, "Arena, I love you!" And she looked up at me and smiled. And
Well, that's a big win for you.
gave me butterflies.
That's exciting, mate. Like, so what's your goal from here? I'll ask you. I tangented myself, but is it to do more social stuff, or just to explore and whatever? What it's you're fucking so young, man.
Yeah.
I try and instill that to anyone you've got so much fucking time. You don't have to know what you want to do. You can spend like a decade figuring out what you want to do, and it's fine. But what do you like to do?
I actually don't know. I'd love to just like at the moment. I love posting on social media and just sort of just posting mindless shit. Whether it's me going to training on a Monday or Wednesday or something like that.
That's because that's your generation.
Exactly.
All you kids like is your phones.
Yeah, like I got a twin brother and he told me you're always on your phone just today. So that's pretty rich coming from him.
I mean, I know a lot of kids who are 24.
As you're talking, you're on your
comedy.
phone.
I'm looking
right?
at you, who are 24 and are so rich on TikTok and shit. Like, if I could give anyone career advice, it's just do heaps of TikToks and get rich. I know so many rich kids who fly business class to London and stuff.
Yeah, but that's their social media. Like, how much do you buy into that?
I don't. But they're so rich, man. I know when I was 24, I wasn't rich and I was doing online comedy.
I mean, it's a wave. So I wonder when the social media wave just stops and I go, oh shit, like I don't even know what I'm doing next. But
cool, man. Well, yeah, that's the thing. You can spend so long figuring, and also you smell incredible. Are you aware of this?
like I said, I just come from the gym, so I've just absolutely sprayed like a lot of cologne.
What cologne?
I don't even know, Euphoria or something. It's just in my like glove box in my car.
Good on you, man.
Thanks.
You smell but it's we're around. Anytime you want to come on and chat, please come and join us. as the Giants get better this year, they've got no mojo at the moment.
I don't know. They got it back.
They got it today.
Yeah.
But you can be our GWS expert or something.
I'm happy to do that.
Let's ring Jacob.
Ring Jacob, yes.
What should we say to him?
Something nice. Actually,
We'll say thank you
You brought
for-
up that Hamish Nandy thing.
Yeah.
So I messaged him yesterday and I said, I want to be the next Hamish Nandy or Inspired Unemployed, and I want you to do it with me.
Why don't you say Arnie Donna, you fucking dog? Do you know who Arnie Donna is?
Yeah, because there's 3 of you.
Oh, but there's one of you.
Yeah, no, but I said with him. So like
with
us
him.
2. Like,
Okay.
You see Hamish Nandy Gap Year or you see Inspired Unemployed going on that
Yeah.
the listing. Like,
Okay, so I don't know. You should do a where you should start. Do you have an agent?
I don't really. I got a player agent like AFL.
Get a agent.
Like a travel agent, yeah.
You fucking Cooper. Because then like you'll be on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here or whatever. Like do that.
This is one thing I'm not going to do is Big Brother.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, you could do that, and you could be the next you know who, and just have 1 million followers. Like that would actually be a really good career move, man.
Yeah.
I'll tell you flat because I know this is I'm a Celeb. Flat rate is 40 grand, and after like 3 weeks, I know this because. And after 3 weeks, every week is an extra like 8 grand or something that you stay in.
If you survive.
Yeah.
I've never watched that. What do they even do?
I don't fucking watch that shit, but once I was asked, but that doesn't mean that...
You got asked to be on I'm a Celebrity.
Yeah, but then they wouldn't... I think they were just checking availability because then they would get like Dave Hughes or something.
Oh, so they're like, okay, you're a backup. just
yeah,
in
like
case.
if you wanted to do it, if we asked, would you say yes? And then I go, oh, maybe. And they go, nah. But I think I said, I don't know. Oh, I probably said maybe. I don't know. But it's a lot of money. But I didn't do it. But man, you could do Bachelor. You're a good looking young man.
Bachelor, wow. Nah, one time I got a DM from Love Island.
Farmer wants a wife? DM from Love Island.
Yeah, but I think they send out to like a fair few people.
But this is why you need an agent, mate.
I'm not doing Love Island though.
Why not? I don't even, like, that's just copping roots, is it?
Yeah, well, pretty much that's what I see.
Yeah, I don't think they get paid well. I don't think.
But like that's like the full like influencer vibe, and I'm not.
That could. You just said you want to do TikTok shit.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean I want to be an influencer.
That's what it is, man.
Well, it's different. Oh, I don't know.
Why? What? How would you? That's.
I'm going red now.
All right, we'll ring Jacob. All right.
Okay.
Or just to say hello.
Has been forwarded to voicemail.
What a
He's
fuck.
just hung-
Okay, that really.
Nah, actually, he's always on Do Not Disturb because he's the
All right.
genuine social media guy.
Well, see, we started him here. We started his. Do you know that?
No.
So no one knew who this guy was, including you.
Wait, so this is before I've met him?
No, it was you knew him. So
But I didn't actually know him.
In our first season of this show, which might be your second, was 2023.
That's my...
That's the Himmelberg year, I think, with the big specky at Norwood,
Yeah,
potentially.
well, that's
Second.
my last year.
Okay, right.
Wait, no. No, that was my second year.
Second year.
That wasn't that year of him work specky though.
Right. We were like,
Oh, yes, it was. Sorry.
we figured it out. We got the lineage right. We can draw this up. But we were just talking, this is GWS social media, and they're dominating. They're so good.
Yep.
And then I DM'd and said, can you come on the pod? And some random person replied, yes, I will.
He should have come on with a mask on.
Yeah.
Could
But
you
no,
imagine that? Just a big G over his head.
This guy could not wait to get his face on.
How'd you get him up the steps? They're pretty big.
So we had him on the call. We had him on a call.
Oh, of
so
course.
he wouldn't do it in person because he feared how strong I am.
Of course, yeah.
And so, but then from then,
Just wouldn't leave you alone.
the LinkedIn, I remember his LinkedIn took off. I saw he just became an
okay.
icon. And then you'd start to hear on Channel 7, they're like, oh, yep, Jacob Gaynor, this, that.
Yeah.
And I'm just so happy for him.
Well, I can't believe, like, you wouldn't know the name of any other social media,
No, you wouldn't.
like, I don't know what you call them.
Social media coordinator, manager.
Yeah.
Paddy used to do it for Channel 7.
Really?
And now he's upgraded.
that was back when Channel 7's was really, really
That's
good content.
right. And now we've got him.
And I've paid you so much money to say that.
And now we've got Cooper. Now we've got he's ours. Now we've got Pat. I called him Cooper, but apart from that,
This is what doing a podcast with two people in their early 20s looks
do you?
like.
Yeah, I know. I don't like it. I feel
you
like
feeling okay?
I feel like shipmates or
Been
something.
sweating this whole time.
Who is another one? You know, you could.
Yeah, they're very good. They are very good, actually.
Well, mate, all the best with it. I'm
Thank you
sorry
very
we've
much.
ranted and raved, and thank you for being so open as well. It's been a lovely chat. You can follow Cooper and make him rich, and you can catch him on Love Island season 9. He's got very exciting. You're from the country. You could do farmer wants a wife.
Yeah, but I don't have a farming bone in my body. Like, Dad would disown me if I did that.
I don't think the show is real, mate. I think it's just some guy with some RM Williams on.
Yeah.
You just got to be nice and be like, hey, I'm looking for a wife. And then as soon as the show ends, divorce.
Yeah, they never really stay together, do they?
No, because you don't meet your soulmate on telly, on Channel 7 especially.
Yeah.
Maybe on SBS.
It's like they just park you in the back of a ute with a bunch of hay bales and expect you to kiss a bunch of girls.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, sounds all right by me.
I'm not complaining if you want to cast me in it.
Coops, thank you so much, mate.
No,
I will see you with VFL soon. If not, go Rochester Tigers.
Yes.
Cheers,
Well
mate.
done. Thank you.
This is a Grouse House podcast.